Welcome to the session 1 Psychology of Selling. Last week, we carried out the session on Introduction to Sales Enablement. The objective of this program is creating effective and efficient sales systems and teams that win. This is being brought to you by METL Global Perspectives, www.metl.in. A sales interaction takes place when the buyer or multiple buyers have unfulfilled needs and the salesperson has an offering that can meet them or maybe most of it. These needs of the buyer can be stated and unstated. Stated needs are the ones that are mentioned. These are aspects like raw material quality, cost, regular supply assurance. Unstated needs are not stated but highly desirable. These are aspects like sudden demand supply variance to be addressed, cost reduction over time to be provided, zero headache in follow-up of materials, maybe a representative very close by should be available to immediately attend to whatever be the crisis that crops up from time to time. Depending on what you are responsible for selling, these needs of the buyer will change and have to be understood. This is the beginning of sales. How do you get to know the stated and the unstated needs? At times, the needs are hidden and highly emotional in nature. For instance, a parent seeks admission of a child in a very expensive school with the hope that the child will get a jump start and do better in life. The latter part is highly intangible, long term in nature, might be impacted by various things, may be aspirational, and often unstated. The challenge is that salespersons are not often equipped to handle such aspects, and the customer or the prospect does not open up. Customers like to wear a tough mask so that they can negotiate well and hide their real requirements and their shortfalls. The psychology of selling is all about trust that the salesperson tries to develop with the client. And once it is in place, the customer opens up with their expectations, and the salesperson then can strive to achieve all the objectives, emotional and the material ones. Okay, so this can be done in a face to face meeting. How can this be fulfilled in the online sales paradigm? In the online space, how does psychology play a role? There is no way to generate trust through personal interaction. Thus, there are several other ways in which it is provided. These are giving free returns, giving more options to choose from, always letting the customer choose, providing three choices, and the customer always tries and settle for the second one, offering a lesser price than the retail store, having a very good customer centric service department, handling returns policy very well, fulfilling the order well. These are all the aspects which aid in the psychology part of an online sales situation. Understand the buyer. The salesperson should always try and understand the buyer. Every buyer is an individual, a person first, and then the position or the role that the person is holding. They have a story, and a good salesperson listens to those. These can be over conversations regarding school, college, place where they grew up, their story, and thus their approach to life. And while getting to know the buyer well, also keep in mind that every buyer has a need and wants to make the right choice. It is never about the price. I have seen several people or several salespeople talking about price being high. It is never about the price. It is about the perception of value that the buyer is getting and the perception of price that the buyer is giving. Trust is the only currency. Most of the buyers do not change once they develop comfort while dealing with the salesperson. In such an instance, how can a salesperson from a competing organization make a dent? A salesperson has to be patient and keep in touch with the buyer. Do not make the mistake of trying to sell. Never try to hard sell or through discounts. Try to do things that would add value to the buyer in his or her role. Try to offer part substitution and coexist with the competition. Sometime or the other, there will come a situation where the existing supplier slips up. When that happens, the salesperson should not let the opportunity slip out of hand. Till the time that happens, just pursue and wait. Establish trust, then pitch. A salesperson should be observant and always try to deepen the understanding about the prospective client and the individual first. Then try to pitch the offering. Till then, keep gathering understanding about the prospect's business, their requirement, and then forge an offering that a person prospect cannot say a no to. Often, there are more than one person involved in a buying decision. Ensure that you get to know them the best you can. How do you buy and sell? Before you become a salesperson, think how you buy and get sold to. Think about the situation. You want to buy a hand knotted silk carpet. You have no idea about carpets. How will you go about purchasing one? Write down the way you went about deciding. What attributes would you like the salesperson to demonstrate to convince you? This is the same way a buyer goes about deciding across multiple vendors to choose from. Now apply this to your sales scenario. Now think, why does your client do business with you? Are the reasons the same for everyone? Do you even know the real reasons other than the price, quality, and delivery parameters that they are stating? Well, these reasons are the basics. These are not the real ones. These are the hygiene factors which all the vendors will be meeting. Find out the real reason. This is when sales evolves into a psychological game. It is never about the least price or the best quality. It is about understanding the buyer requirements and meeting them to the best of your ability through your offering. Evolve your sales a bit every week. Why do you think your client does business with you? Ask your customers, prospects, and get in touch with me. Should you want this program for your organization? Message me at sogata@metl.in. Next week, we will be on the session 2, which is designing a sales strategy for your organization, for your product, for your offering. And how do we go about doing that?